Good morning, everybody out there on Facebook. Hi. So good to see you this morning. I am so happy to be here, as I always say, because I am. One of the most exciting things today is that we're at phase 4. So if you've been here for all 3, you've come at the right time. We're going to wrap everything up for our tax season 2019 mini audit. And your mini audit is just a way of saying we're going to do like a review so that you're all ready for tax season 2019. So we're going to make this a stress-free tax season, just positive thoughts only. So if you're watching right now, yay, thank you for getting up so early and joining me. If not, put hashtag replay in the comments for me, okay, folks? And then also, can you tell me where you're listening from? I love to hear what part of the country everybody is from. My name is Melissa, and I am the owner here at Advanced Accounting if this is the first time that you're coming to one of my lives. And we have been doing, for the last 3 lives, we have been doing a series of tax audit steps. And so this is phase 4. So I'm going to do just a really quick review for everybody if you're here for the first time. We have discussed on here how we need to have everything in one place. In fact, what I want to do is open up my checklist because I made myself a little checklist, everybody. All right, open that up. All right, here we go. All right, so in phase 1, we talked about collecting all of our income and expense documentation. All right, let me go over here. Okay. So we talked about collecting all of our documentation, putting it all in one place, having it organized by month and then by category. You also want to reconcile your bank statements. You want to go ahead and review your employee files for compliance. We did a human resource audit in phase 2, verifying all our subcontractors and our employee files were ready to go for W-2s and 1099s. In phase 3, we wanted to go through sales tax and a payroll tax review. We also talked about having a petty cash reconciliation. We went over some of the categories that you want to use and some of the red flags you don't want to have. And so what I want to tell you about is the fact that you need to go back through this, all right, and make a plan. You have 3 months. And here's the neatest thing about the 4th quarter of 2018. During this 4th quarter, it actually, the first day of the month is on the first day of the week, which actually doesn't happen that often. So Monday, this upcoming Monday, starts our 4th quarter. So it's just a completely fresh start for us. You couldn't ask for anything better. So it's time to just get organized and go ahead and let's get ready for tax season by getting a calendar out, all right? So first thing we want to do is get a checklist out. Excuse me, we went back through, we got our checklist. Then we want to do our 90-day calendar, all right? So in that 90-day calendar, we want to place some deadlines for ourselves. I don't know about you, but for me, if I don't have a deadline, I might not get it done. I mean, I might not. So I kind of self-check and set things up for myself so that I make sure that all of my deadlines are actually met, all right? And that helps me to complete tasks. So whatever works for you, that you want a 90-day calendar so that you can plan out each one of the steps in these phases and when you can get it done. Because I know you're really busy. And for a lot of you, especially if you're in retail, you're coming into your busy season. So we want to make it super simple by just kind of planning out the few things that you have to do to get ready. And this is going to take a lot off because if you wait until January, folks, it's going to get stressful. I've mentioned before that for small business, our tax season starts in January, not in April like you're used to, okay? So get some deadlines placed on yourself on a calendar, work through this mini audit, and your New Year's is going to be so much happier, okay? The next thing I recommend in order to complete all this is you've put all this great information together and maybe you have a combination of electronic and paper. I suggest that this is a good time for you to pick an accounting platform so that next year you go in and you don't have to have as much to do at the end of the year. You've got everything right there. There are very simple ways that you can put in checkbook reconciliations and various financial features to platforms. So I recommend that you find a platform you like. I like QuickBooks. I also have an Excel platform that's super simple for new businesses. You might be interested in that. I've heard of a lot of other ones as well. There's a whole bunch of different apps now on the internet. There's QuickBooks Self-Employed. You can download. That's an application. So there's a lot of different options for you. But hey, pick one of them. All right. Something is considerably better than nothing. All right. We need to get you reports. We need to start planning for that second year of business when you might need investors or loans or things like that. So go ahead, pick an accounting platform that works for you, whatever that may be. If you need advice or help, please contact us. I'd be happy to give you recommendations based on my experiences. The next thing I recommend for you to do, because you have time, is to start looking at professionals for your tax season. So you're probably going to need two things depending on the size of your business. You're going to need accounting services and you're going to need tax preparer services. On the accounting side, you're going to need someone to do your W-2s and your 1099s and review all of your reports to make sure they're correct. If you plan to continue doing everything yourself, that's great. You can still do that. But before you go for tax season, I would definitely recommend still having a professional go ahead and look at your accounts. Look at your expenses and everything. Make sure you have everything categorized correctly. All right, so even if you want to do it yourself and you're going to go on and you get your platform and you enter all your information, everything is going well, have a tax professional look at it, excuse me, an accounting professional look at it before you take it to your tax preparer. Now, on the tax preparer side, a couple words. Our tax preparer said you just might want to start looking now, because if you plan to do it yourself, they're not always quite what they seem. So find out what it's actually going to cost you to do it yourself and what's actually entailed. A lot of times you get into those programs and there can be a lot of surprises when you actually get to the point where you want to file your taxes. So start researching how you're going to prepare those taxes, those 1099s, those W-2s. Start researching now how you're going to do all that, okay? Also, with your tax preparer, or if you're doing it yourself, something to keep in mind is the fact that you want to have your taxes prepared in such a way that they're considering your future. So what are your goals for the future? Is your plan for next year to expand, or maybe you want the 2019 to add to your inventory? You plan to get a loan in order to do some marketing. You need to have your taxes prepared in such a way that it's profitable for that goal, okay? Because there are ways to do it. Maybe your goal is just to get a refund, and that's one thing. But if your goal is to grow your business, then your tax preparer needs to know that so that she makes sure that she files them correctly to where a banker or an investor would be able to use that data, okay, to see if you qualify for loans and things like that. We encounter this quite often. That's why I mention it. To make sure they know when they prepare your taxes what your goal is at the end of this, all right? Now, as I mentioned, find these people, find them ahead of time. Tax preparers and accountants are people that we are supposed to trust, all right? They're going to have your most sensitive documentation, everything about you. Your tax preparer actually receives everything about you, okay? So look for one that has a great reputation, all right? If you need suggestions, contact me. Don't go with one that's only been open for, say, a year. This was a recommendation sent out by the IRS last tax season. They need to be open at least 2 or more years to establish credibility, and that they're not just going to run off with all of your information. And, well, our experience is a lot of times they like to sell dependents. And if you're not someone who's done taxes and you don't know how to tell if they're doing these things, go to someone you know, go to someone you trust, go to somebody that has been in business for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. Look for the people whose building you've seen or you've seen online several years in a row, okay? That is it, folks. That is phase 4. Phase 4 is the wrap up. But I want to thank Renee from We Are HR, because she worked with me on this phase 4 as well. Even though you don't see her beautiful face, I want you to know she was here working with me on creating a tax season 2019 mini audit for you guys. And that is going to be our gift to you. We really appreciate that you came and you gave us your time. And our desire is for you to have a stress-free, wonderful 2019 new year and tax season. To enable you to do that, what we have done is we have created a tax season mini audit, kind of a handbook, right? It's got everything in there you need. It's got your checklist from Advanced Accounting, a checklist from We Are HR to make sure that you don't miss anything. We've got the legal documents that you need to make sure that your employee and subcontractor files are up to date. I've also put in there all the videos from this phase. So the actual link to this will go up in about 15 minutes after phase 4 airs. And phase 1 through 4 will all be within the handbook. Okay, so you'll be able to watch them on our Facebook for the rest of this week. But after this week, the only way you'll be able to see these videos and to get all this information will be to get the handbook. And that will be available up and through this month of, through the month of October in order to get you organized. So that is our free gift to you for being so wonderful and coming here and taking the action to get your business and your finances in order. Our tax season 2019 mini audit. So make sure you download yours today. It is an ebook. So I look forward to hearing from you if you have any questions. But if you follow this ebook, you will be prepared for tax season 2019. I wish you all a profitable and a productive day.